Hello viewers, today for the initial checking out of, we have a set of Vtech cordless telephones. This is the Vtech model IS8122-3, and I believe the -3 indicates that this would have originally shipped with 3 handsets. It is forbidden to throw this in the trash. Not much else on here in terms of information, but you can pause the video and read that information if you so desire to. The AC to DC adapters are 6 volts DC, outputting 0.4 of the amps with center polarity positive. And there's a date code of 2118. I'm not exactly sure how that reads, but these are a fairly recent make. I picked these up at a rummage sale a while back. I don't normally gravitate towards this newer stuff because it's not nostalgic to me, and a lot of it's just not very good. But I thought these were interesting because these handsets are really large. In addition to being large, they're very heavy. They have a really nice feel to them. They're not creaky at all. They're really, really nice feeling handsets. And they're absolutely gigantic. Here is a Uniden DCX150 for comparison. It's about 1.5 inches taller. It's a little bit wider. And it's probably twice as heavy, which is quite impressive because these just have the little 2 AAA cell battery pack, so it's not the battery that's giving this its extra weight. These are also advertised as having super long range, so we'll see if these do actually have any more range than the average Vtech set. Over the course of the last decade or so, a lot of these Vtech and AT&T phones are very similar internally, and the handful of models I've tested really don't vary in many ways at all. So I'll be curious to see if these do actually have longer range, or that's just some kind of bogus advertising gimmick. We do have a external antenna on the base and this kind of goofy looking thing on top. I'm really surprised these were designed this way. Most people nowadays do not want a larger telephone, and this thing is absolutely huge. I only have 2 of the 3 handsets that I can tell, and maybe there's a third one that fell deep in the box or something, but I only have 2 of the handsets present, and this one appears to have a spoiling speaker, so we'll have to replace that. So I think for the sake of the video here, we're just going to focus on one handset. In fact, I might just deregister the other one and set it aside, and I'll just set this up with one handset for now if I find that I like it. But the whole thing really feels pretty good quality. The base has good rubber feet to it. It doesn't slide around at all on the table. It doesn't sound like cheap and hollow. It's not particularly lightweight. This is overall really impressive in terms of physical feel. It also has Bluetooth and some stupid call blocking thing. I figured this would be a fairly expensive system, but I looked up the pricing prior to this video, and as of the time of this taping, this retails only for about $51 for a set of 3, which is really quite economical. This to me has a much more premium feel, and I was expecting a much more premium price tag than that. I print out the instruction manual prior to the video, and it's quite long. This is, I think, almost 150 pages, so there might be quite a few features to look at in this system. It looks like it's expandable up to 5 handsets, or at least that was the highest number that it seemed to ship with. And of course there's a stinking, you know, you got to scan the code and all that stuff. I'm not going to do that because I don't deal with that. So let's get past all this stuff here. The FCC rules, the part 15 of the FCC rules where it must receive all the interference. So here's the contents here. These manuals for the Vtech and AT&T phones, I have always thought for a while now, are quite well laid out and very thorough. And this appears to be the same way. This seems to be very thorough and well laid out. So it has Bluetooth. We'll check that. I did bring down the cell phone. And it has the stinking smart call blocker, whatever that is. Remote voice control. It's got some interesting stuff here that I'm not really familiar with. So in the box we have up to 5 sets per unit. Battery installation. So here's the operating time. That's interesting to see because a lot of times, at least historically, Vtech and AT&T do not list this information for the DECT 6 telephones, but in this case it says it'll last up to 5 days on standby or 10 hours on talk time. And of course that's a very disputable and probably not accurate figure because depending on how you use the telephone, it's going to use more or less electricity. For instance, if you're talking on speakerphone and you're far away from the base, it's going to use more power than if you're speaking on regular talk right next to the base. I assume that the 10 hours is a best case scenario, and likely in most use cases it'll be less than that. Okay, so we don't need to check the dial tone or the battery icon because that stuff has already been taken care of. So now it says, I'm just going to open this up to make this a little bit easier. Improve the telephone signal strength. So it says, place the telephone at least 1 meter away from thick walls, as well as household appliances. It's talking about a large mirror. Why the heck is a large mirror a problem? TV, radio, microwave oven, Wi-Fi router, large mirror, metal furniture, and fish tank. That's quite the array of things that you're not supposed to put it anywhere near. Fish tank, I've never seen that before. I've seen microwave, I've seen Wi-Fi, that all makes sense, but I've never seen a fish tank. Okay, so I guess we'll begin with setting the date and time as listed here. It's not saying it anymore, but it was when I first started it up, so we'll go down here to actually, you know what, let's just I want to unplug it and plug it back in so that we get the initial prompt to set the date and time, because it was putting something else on there as well when I first set it up, something about configuring that smart call block thing. Okay, power back on. And once that reconnects to the base, it should ask us to reset the time. It is not. Okay, fine, we'll do it manually. Oops. This has the clicking buttons, which that's all a matter of personal preference, but it does kind of give it more of a premium feel. One thing I don't like, which is going to be a problem under heavy use, is all this shiny plastic is going to end up wearing off. Okay, that is set. So we did all that. says smart call blocker. Well, I guess we'll do that through voice guide. So after the date and time is done or skip, the handset will prompt if you want to set smart call blocker. I saw that before, that's what I was trying to get back, and I couldn't get it back. So it says, you input designated numbers, press 1 if you want to screen home calls with telephone numbers that are not saved in your phone book. Oh boy, this is some kind of call screener thing. Oh, I think this stuff is ridiculous, but we'll try to demo it as much as possible.
Hello. This voice guide will assist you with the basic setup of Smart Call Blocker. Smart Call Blocker can protect you from unwanted calls, which may come with or without phone numbers. Calls that do not display a phone number and calls from numbers that are not saved in your phone book, allow list, or star name list can be screened. When an incoming call is screened, the caller will be asked to announce their name before the call rings through to you. You can choose to answer, reject the call, or send it to the answering system. How would you like to use Smart Call Blocker? If you want to screen any call from numbers not saved in the phone book, allow list, or star name list, press 1. If you do not want to screen calls, press 2. To repeat this guide, press star. Smart Call Blocker will screen all incoming calls now. If you don't want to screen family members, friends, and desired businesses, please add their phone numbers to the phone book. To learn more about Smart Call Blocker, please refer to your Smart Call Blocker introduction leaflet.
Which we don't have. Okay, so that's been turned on. It's applicable to home calls only, so it does not do anything for the cell phone calls. That was interesting to hear that voice read all those different prompts, because we've heard that voice, you know, read the answering machine stuff over and over again, but it's kind of interesting when the voice says all different things that you don't normally hear, such as that entire introductory item there. Okay, so that's good, we got that. So the icons here on the screen, and you can pause the video and look at these things if you so desire to. I'm going to skip over stuff that we're not necessarily going to demo, such as the parts of the base. Well, we are going to demo the base, but not, never mind. It's getting late. Notes. This is all pretty self-explanatory thus far. When you are on a home or cell call and speaking to the caller and you do not want to continue the call, you can press call block voice to end the call. The telephone plays the block announcement. The number you are calling is not accepting your call. Please hang up to the caller and the call will be terminated. The caller's number, if available, will be added to your block list. So that button is down here. So at this point, let's go ahead and call this and see what it sounds like as far as the call screening is concerned. I have not stored this number I'm going to dial into the phone book, so we should receive the screening prompt.
Hello, calls to this number are being screened by Smart Call Blocker. Please say your name after the tone, then press pound.
Hello, this is Frank, and I'm a scammer.
Please wait a moment while your call is connected. Call from. Hello, this is Frank, and I'm a scammer. To answer the call, press 1. To send this call to the answering system, press 4. To repeat these options, press star.
Hi, you've reached 925.
That was kind of interesting. I'm going to turn the ringer off on this because it is definitely a spoiled speaker. Okay. So that actually is executed pretty well. I don't like the clunkiness of it, and I just think it's, in my mind, the telephone is very much an emergency appliance, and if you have to call somebody in a true emergency, the last thing you want to do is play games with a call screening thing to try to get through. I hate that. So I personally would never use this, but if this is what you like, that's actually executed pretty well. I think that worked quite nicely. So yeah, that's not bad. So now let's call again, and we're gonna block the call while we're on it.
Hello, calls to this number are being screened by Smart Call Blocker. Please say your name after the tone, then press pound.
Bah! It's a farm!
Please wait a moment while your call is connected. Call from. Bah! It's a farm! To answer the call, press 1.
That recording is actually pretty clear, all things considered. It's definitely better than a typical Digitan garbled answering machine. Okay, so I'm going to put this off speakerphone and when I put it to mute, turn this back on, and now I'm going to block the call.
The number you are calling is not accepting your call. Please hang up.
Okay, so now I'm going to call back from that same number, and let's see what it will say.
Calls to this number are being screened by Smart Call Blocker. The number you are calling is not accepting your call. Please hang up.
Okay, so that worked pretty well. There's a flaw here to this system, and that is the fact that if you have any other telephones on your line, you're still going to get that first ring. But at least this system does not give you any ring initially. It's completely silent until that caller ID data comes in. So this is not disruptive. One of the things that I've disliked about a lot of these block call type systems is that a lot of them let the first ring through, and then when the caller ID data comes in, it'll stop the call, but then like now you're disrupted already. So this at least is completely silent until the caller ID data comes in and it processes the call. So again, this is executed very well for what this is. Okay, so that's working. Let's see what else we got. There's some intercom. That takes quite a few clicks to get to it. And then you have to type in the handset number, as opposed to on the Uniden 1580, for instance, you have a soft key right for intercom, and then you can select the locations. This is much better. This is a kind of a poor execution of the intercom. I think 0 is the base. Oops, I waited too long. I guess it doesn't have speakerphone on the base, probably. There's just, you know, I'll call from this unit so we can hear what the ringer sounds like. There's the ringer. Completely distinct from regular phone. Cannot use speakerphone. Now you can. Once it's answered, you can use speakerphone. Okay, intercom works pretty good, although the interface to get to the intercom is definitely a touch clunky. Transfer call, which is pretty much the same operation. Okay, speakerphone. There's no side volume control on these, which is a touch disappointing. That's a feature that Vtech used to use a lot, and now I don't see it much anymore. Okay, so here's the register and deregister functions, which we'll look at. Do not press and hold for more than 4 seconds. It may break the system. Does it not page handsets that are on the cradle? That's pretty cool. No, I guess it was just a glitch. That should be a thing. When you have a system like this, it should be that only the handsets that are off the cradle ring on the page. Using the phone menu. So the phone book stores up to 1,000 entries with up to 30 digits for each phone number and 15 characters for each name. That is excellent. That's the capacity that the phone books should be. So many of these cordless phone systems, even ones still sold today, have entry limitations of 30, 50, 70, 100 numbers, and it's ludicrous because memory was cheap, you know, when this was made. You're storing a couple hundred bytes of data. There's no reason that it shouldn't be able to store hundreds and hundreds of entries like this does. So that's good. 1,000 entries. Phone book entries are stored at the telephone base and shared by all system handsets. Any changes made on one handset apply to all. That's a matter of personal preference. On a multi-user system, I would prefer to have it individual to the handset. But if it's a single user system, like my use case, then this is just as well, because I'm most likely going to want all the same numbers on all the handsets. Only one handset can review the phone book at a time. If another handset tries to enter the phone book, it shows not available. That's a little ridiculous. When there are no records in the phone book, the screen shows list empty. Let me see if there's any. There's 13 entries. I need to go ahead and clear these out here. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . Oh, that's crazy. This has this has one. This has the telephone. That's wild. This phone book has my aunt and uncle's name in it and my name in it. None of the phone numbers. It's just coincidental, but that's crazy. Okay, so phone book. How do we delete all the entries? I think you have to go in through the menu. You know, I kind of like these buttons. They have nice feedback to them. Yeah, I actually quite like the feel of these handsets all around. The weight, the size, the buttons. I like really everything about it. It is a little bit slow though. If you start going on too fast, it doesn't keep up. And that's pretty common with these AT&T Vtech units. Actually, it seems like it's keeping up. It's the key tone it's not keeping up. Okay, so let's see here. When you try to save a number already stored in the phone book, the screen shows number repeated. Phone book entries can also be saved to the allow list or block list. When Smart Call Blocker is on, calls with numbers saved in the phone book will get through and ring on your telephone. If a number saved in the phone book is also saved in the block list, calls from this number will be blocked. This is all very clear and well written. So let's add an entry to the phone book here. Very slow. I don't know why it takes that long to write a couple of bytes of data to flash memory. What is the processor? 0.0001 megahertz? Okay, let's call that number now and let's see if the call ends up going right through. So we still don't get the first ringer because it's waiting for the caller ID data before it does anything. And the call did in fact go right through. Okay, so that's working properly. We did that, we added the phone book entry. You can search using the initial letter of the entry, that's good. Redial list. Each handset stores the last 10 dialed numbers in the redial list. The list of numbers include both dialed home calls and cell calls. So that, I believe, is stored per phone. Yeah, it appears to be. Okay, I just deleted all those. I'll delete them out of here before I cause a editing nightmare unintentionally. Okay, deleted. And it looks like you can store the redials into the phone book as well. Caller ID. Okay, that's good. The telephone stores caller ID information about the last 50 incoming calls in the telephone base. Entries are stored in reverse chronological order. The phone deletes the oldest entry when the log is full to make room for new calls. This information is common to the telephone base and all handsets, so changes made using any handset or the telephone base are reflected in all other devices. If you answer a call before the information appears on the screen, it does not show in the caller ID log. So here we go with the number of entries. Why only 50? It should be able to store hundreds and hundreds of entries like it does the phone book. But I do like that it's all stored on the base, because now when you clear the log to get out the missed calls, they disappear on all the handsets as opposed to just one of them, and you have to keep going around clearing all the logs individually. Okay, you can store numbers from the call directory into the phone book, or from the log into the phone book. Viewing, the deletion. Okay, caller ID memory match. This is a very cool feature. If the incoming telephone number matches the last 7 digits of a telephone number in your phone book, the name that appears on the screen matches the corresponding name in your phone book. I'm surprised it only does the last 7 digits, because nowadays a lot of the numbers are 10 digits, and I believe that is because there are repeated numbers in different area codes, I think. I'm not completely certain, but I think that that's why it's required to do 10-digit dialing in most cases now. But we saw that with this caller ID, it applied Frank's hardware to the name, attached the number. I just think that's a really nice, friendly feature to have. You can press and hold off on the handset for 4 seconds to mark everything as read. That's good to know. I didn't know that. That's handy. Introducing Bluetooth. Pair up to 2 Bluetooth-enabled devices, 2 cell phones, or 1 cell phone and 1 headset with the telephone base. This does not have a headset jack or belt clip on the handset. Connect a Bluetooth-enabled headset for making and receiving home calls. Make and receive calls using your cell phone or using your cell phone service with your telephone base or system handsets. Download phone book entries from your cell phone. And I did get my cell phone here, so we'll go ahead and demo some of these features and see how the clarity is, etc. Yes, I still have a flip phone. Do not use a stupid iPhone or an Android phone or whatever the heck all that stuff is. Bluetooth wireless technology operates within a short range, a maximum of approximately 15 feet from the telephone base. Okay. Okay, so let's see if we have anything paired to this currently. Is that my model of telephone? I wonder if I checked this out at some point just by myself real quick before I did the video. Well, we need to clear that out of there, whatever that is. So let's see how to do that. Find me or visibility. Okay, Bluetooth setup. How do you remove a unit? Okay, here we go. Press and hold cell 1 and or cell 2 on the telephone base. The existing paired cell phone in that slot will be erased. Okay, so let's hold cell 1 because that's where the slot is. Okay, we got a confirmation tone. Hopefully that has been erased. It's flashing. Let's see if it's going. Okay, good. It's canceled out. Okay, so let's go ahead and add this. So I will put my cell phone here into pairing. Yeah, I think that was my cell phone. So I must have checked this out briefly before I put it in the bin for videos. I want a Bluetooth stinking headset. Maybe I'll just do it like this. Okay, and it just showed up on here. So let's put this. I guess that was a user error. That's fine. It can allow the access. Okay. That seemed to pair pretty easily. This is for the, I'm actually going to go unplug that. That's for the whole house wiring. I'll just unplug that temporarily so that we don't have have it connecting to two things at once. That's not going to be helpful. At least not for this test anyways. Okay, that's unplugged. So now the only thing that it should be connected to is this phone system. Okay, so let's go ahead and make a call. Hopefully this has enough reception down here. What does it have? Only has 2 of the peppers, so it might not be very clear, but we'll try it. That did not work. Not available. Is it not? You know what? It might not be. It might not be linked up because I changed. I think I hit the other thing before I unplugged that unit. Yeah, it wasn't connected. Okay, now it's connected. What the heck? Okay. Oh, we'll just type it in manually then. Okay, it's calling the High and Dry Winery now.
Family Farms and Winery with an updated message for Monday, July 20th. And the days ahead, we first want to mention about berries and then the winery. Our blueberry fields are traditionally closed during Mondays and Tuesdays. However, we have so many ripe berries that we are going to be open on Monday. And so if you've been waiting to visit, now is the perfect time. Whether you're stocking up on blueberries for smoothies, homemade jam, baking, or simply enjoying them fresh, it's a great week to harvest. So we will be
Let's see how
open
far I
on
can take
Monday.
this
Again,
away
it's
from
unusual,
the...
but we will be open from 8:30 until 12. We're going to be at our Valley Farm. And that's located at
So I'm about 10 feet back and it's already
555
corrupting, so the range is very limited, but that's exactly what it's described in the manual, so that's working as it's described too.
Crop reporter visiting our website for the harvest activities. So don't forget to bring water and a smile. Taking it slow and being patient will make your visit even.
It sounds just fine. It's a little bit digitally and
So on Monday we'll be open
garbled,
from 12
but
till 6. And again, the winery is located at our Homestead Farm.
that's to be expected because the cell phone is not as clear as the landline to begin with, and then you're passing it through a garbled, very highly compressed Bluetooth audio connection. So that sounded totally satisfactory to me. I'm going to go ahead and unpair this now. And I'm going to go plug this other thing back in and put this back so that it's not all screwed up the next time somebody tries to call me, because that's not very helpful. And then I'll delete this from my cell phone because I just don't really have a use case for it. If I'm calling out, I'm going to call on the landline. It just makes more sense. So just go here and delete this. Forget. Oh, rats. I wanted to use this to bring in the phone book. Okay. I'll just repair it. Okay, let's see if that works. So we've got it paired now. Downloading a cell phone phone book. Press menu on the handset and then go down to oh, I just gotta highlight Bluetooth first. And then select download phone book. Just make sure that this does not show all the phone numbers. And that does not seem to be working. That very well might just be because this particular phone doesn't support this operation. I don't know. Oh, no, it is working. It's going up. It's got 7 of them so far. It's just very, very slow. My gosh, that is pathetic. That is ridiculously slow. And I'm noticing now that the 0 on there is spazzing out while it's doing this really intensive process of downloading these entries. Alright, that's taking an unreasonable amount of time. I will take care of that off camera. We'll just see, did it actually work? It broke the phone book. Now it just says not available. Okay. It probably would have been fine if I was just patient and left it alone. But I'd like it to stop. I think it's probably still going, maybe. Can we make a call? No. So this is definitely oh, now it's making a call. Okay, it did work. It brought the entries in just fine. But I interrupted it, so it did not like that. Okay, so I'll take care of this after the video, because inherently that's going to take a very long time. So for now, I'll just no, okay, it's paired to both, that's fine. Okay, so I'll take care of that after the video and just let it sit. Yeah, that 0 is fine now. It was spazzing out before when it was downloading those phone book entries. Must be very, very intensive for this machine to read and write to the data. I mean, to read and write to the data, read and write to the memory. I'm gonna go ahead and delete all the entries from the phone book now, just so I don't end up accidentally putting one of them into the video and then creating an editing nightmare for myself. But that works. This is so slow. It's just very, very slow, which is fine. It's a one-time operation. Okay, so that's good. That's working properly. Remote voice control. That's not applicable to me because I don't have any of that stuff. Although, you know, I think that this cell phone does have some kind of... I know you can make a call with voice, but I don't know if it's going to work with this. So we can try it. Oh, it does work. Okay, let's see. That's interesting. I think the phone is still waiting for yeah, it is. Okay, let's see if this actually will work. Call the High and Dry Winery.
If you take call 2092913.
What? No, it said call 2092. I think that the thing was a little bit too far away. It was kind of garbled. Let's try that again. Call the High and Dry Winery.
If you say call 9300103.
No! Who the heck said that? Let's see if this works better by itself. Well, that's the dang flashlight. As you can see, I don't use this very often. I don't even know how to activate this. I know it's activated before because sometimes it comes up. No, that's the dang flashlight. How do you... Oh, is this it here? No. Well, I have... Call the High and Dry Winery. Yeah, it worked that time. So I think that, it's not clear enough, I guess, for this, like the speech is not clear enough through the Bluetooth for it to work, or maybe it just doesn't work good because this phone is so old and it's not compatible 100%. I don't know. But in concept, that does work. I'm actually surprised that worked at all. Okay. We did show the smart call blocker already, which, although I think it's not a particularly useful tool, I think it's executed very well. The block list stores up to 1,000 entries, and then the phone book is an additional 1,000 entries, and the allow list is 200 entries. Well, that's kind of confusing because the phone book is, I thought that allowed all the numbers to come through in the phone book. Okay, let's just go through this and see if I'm not getting it right. If you have subscribed to Caller ID service, then you can use the smart call blocker to screen robocalls, telemarketing calls, and unwanted calls for you, while allowing welcome calls to get through. The screening feature of smart call blocker is applicable to home calls only. All incoming cell calls will get through and ring. You can set up your lists of welcome callers and unwelcome callers. Smart Call Blocker allows calls from your welcomed callers to get through, and it blocks calls from your unwelcome callers. For other unknown home calls, you can allow these calls, block these calls, or forward these calls to the answering system. With some easy configurations, you can set to only filter robocalls by asking callers to press the pound key before the calls are put through to you. That's interesting. You can also set Smart Call Blocker to screen incoming calls by asking the callers to record their names and press the pound key. After your caller completes the request, your telephone rings and announces the caller's name. You can then choose to block or answer the call, or you can forward the call to the answering system. If the caller does not respond or record his or her name, the call is blocked from ringing through. When you add your welcome callers to your directory or allow list, which is a total of 1,200 numbers, they will bypass all screening and ring directly to your handsets. So there's actually more to this Smart Call Blocker thing than we have shown. Smart Call Blocker is on once you install your telephone. It allows all incoming calls to get through and ring by default. You can change the Smart Call Blocker settings to screen incoming calls. With call screening active, Smart Call Blocker screens and filters all incoming home calls from numbers or names that are not yet saved in your directory, allow list, block list, or star name list. You can easily add incoming phone numbers to your allow list and block list. This allows you to build up your list of allowed and blocked numbers, and Smart Call Blocker will know how to deal with these calls when they come in again. To turn off Smart Call Blocker, see Set Smart Call Blocker on Off. Call categories. Calls are classified into 4 categories. Welcome calls. Welcome calls are calls with telephone numbers saved in your allow list or phone book, and not in your block list. Welcome calls also include calls with caller names saved in your star name list. Notes. All incoming calls on your cell lines will get through and ring unless the caller's numbers are saved in your block list. If you want to block a cell call, add the number to the block list. There are many organizations like schools, medical offices is a combination of offices and pharmacies, that use robocalls to communicate important information to you. Robocall uses an autodialer to deliver pre-recorded messages. By entering the name of the organizations into the star name list, it ensures these calls will ring through when you only know the callers' names but not their numbers. Unwelcome calls. Unwelcome calls are calls with telephone numbers saved in your block list and you want to block their calls. Calls without numbers for home calls only. Calls without numbers are calls that are out of area or with numbers set to private. Uncategorized calls for home calls only. Uncategorized calls include calls with absent caller ID number, calls with numbers that are not in your phone book, allow list or block list, or calls with caller ID names that are not in your star name list. The allow list stores up to 200 entries, the block list stores up to 1,000 entries, and the star name list stores up to 10 names. Call handling. Smart Call Blocker is set to on and to allow all incoming calls by default. When Smart Call Blocker is on, the first ring of all incoming calls will be muted. If your directory, allow list, star name list, and block list are empty when you have small calls, when Smart Call Blocker is on and you have set to screen calls, the telephone will screen all incoming home calls and ask callers to announce their name or press the pound key. If Smart Call Blocker is off, all incoming home and cell calls ring, including numbers saved in the block list. If Quiet Mode is on and Smart Call Blocker is on and in screening mode, all screened home calls will be sent to the answering system after screening. Smart Call Blocker handles calls in the following ways. Welcome calls. Numbers saved in the allow list. Numbers saved in the phone book. Numbers not found in the block list. Caller ID names saved in star name list. Call handling. The telephone rings when there is an incoming home call with numbers saved in your allow list or phone book, but not in your block list. Robocalls with caller names saved in your star name list will also ring. All incoming calls on your cell line will get through and ring. So it sounds like this star name list will filter the calls using the CNAM portion of the caller ID and not the number. Unwelcome calls. Numbers saved in the block list. The telephone does not ring when there is an incoming call with numbers saved in your block list, and the call will be rejected. Unknown calls for home calls only. Calls without numbers, numbers that are out of area or set to private, uncategorized calls with absent caller ID number, numbers not found in phone book, numbers not found in allow list, numbers not found in block list, with caller ID names not found in star name list. You can select one of the following 5 profile options for handling all unknown home calls. Screen unknown. The telephone plays the screening announcement and then asks the caller to say his or her name before the call rings on your telephone. You can then answer the call and hear the caller's name announced. You can decide whether to accept or reject the call or to forward the call to the answering system. Screen robot. The telephone plays the screening announcement and then asks the caller to press the pound key before the call rings on your telephone. You can then answer the call. So that would cut out all of those stupid type calls with the fake garbage trash recorded voice, which are quite annoying. Allow unknown default settings. The telephone allows these calls to get through and ring. The caller's number, even if it is available, will not be saved to the allow list. Unknown to the answering system. The telephone forwards these calls to the answering system without ringing. Block unknown. The telephone rejects these calls with block announcement without ringing. The caller's number, even if it's available, will not be saved to the block list. Note: you can set to screen, allow, or block all unknown home calls without numbers, or unknown home calls with numbers not saved in your phone book, allow list, or star name list. You can also send these calls to the answering system. All unknown is the default profile setting. To change the setting, see Set Profile. So again, for me, this call block thing is totally ridiculous and I would never use it. I just want the phone to ring in case it's an important call. But if you like this kind of stuff, this really seems like it's quite well executed. Okay, we've already turned it on, I think, because it was working before. Frank's in there. Now the problem with this, maybe this is smart enough to get around this, but a lot of the CNAM is not perfect. Especially nowadays, a lot of them will put V in front of the name if it's a legitimate call, supposedly. And so you end up with, let's say, you want to get a call from the hardware store, it's going to say V, hardware store. Is this smart enough to know that as long as the word hardware store or case sensitive, not case sensitive is there, is it cut off at the end because the name is too long? It would have to be really kind of generous at picking up various different variations of the name, different case sensitive, different character arrangements. Maybe it is, I'm not sure. I don't really have a practical way to test that. I believe I can type in custom names into my telephone line tester, but I'm not exactly sure how to do that offhand, so I'm not going to demo that right now. But it really seems to be quite well set up. So let's change the profile to screen the robots. So we'll go back in here. And we'll do screen robot. So now we'll go ahead and call again. And let's see what it does this time.
Hello. Calls to this number are being screened by Smart Call Blocker. If you're a family member, friend, or invited caller, please press pound to be connected. If you're a solicitor, please hang up now.
Oh, like that's gonna work.
Please wait a moment while your call is connected.
What the heck is stopping the solicitor from just pressing the pound key? That's kind of funny that it says that. I think it would be better if it just didn't say that part, but even though it says that, it's still going to do what it's supposed to do, which is to cut out those automated calls, because those recordings are not going to be able to process the instructions and then insert a DTMF tone into the call to get through. So I think that that probably will work for that purpose. Okay, so I think that we did, yeah, we already did demo the blocked list, the blocked call. Well, that's great. Okay. Jeez, what the heck did I do to this stinking manual here? Okay, so this is talking about now to save caller ID entries into the allow list, how to edit the allow list, delete it, etc. Here we go, the star name list. There are many organizations like schools, medical offices, and pharmacies that use robocalls to communicate important information to you. Robocall uses an auto dialer to deliver pre-recorded messages. By entering the name of the organizations into the star name list, it ensures these calls will ring through when you only know the caller names but not their numbers. You know what? We can try it with variations of ring it. So let's go back to here and see what profile do we need to select in order to block everything except for the allowed. Here we go. Block all unknown home calls. Okay, so now if I go ahead and call with that entry, it should just not work.
Calls to this number are being screened by Smart Call Blocker. The number you are calling is not accepting your call. Please hang up.
Don't tell me what to do. Okay, so now so let's see if we go here and we add let's add ring, because that's part of the entry, and let's see if it'll let that go through now.
Calls to this number are being screened by Smart Call Blocker. The number you...
It did not, so it seems like it's going to have to be entered exactly. It does not have exclamation point in here. Let's see if that's good enough. It's probably not. no, it's not. Star the name. Okay, so now let's see. If we go here and look at this list, there it is. So now if we call again, let's see if it goes through this time.
Calls to this number are being screened by Smart Call Blocker. The number you are calling is not accepting your call. Please hang up.
It's still not working. Huh. Well, that's entered exactly as it can possibly be. It's right from the from the log. Try something without an exclamation point, maybe. So the exclamation mark was throwing it off. So, okay. So if we go back here and we edit. Whoops. If we take off, let's just take off 2 characters. Let's see if that doesn't work anymore.
Calls to this.
Yeah, so it has to be an exact match. So I think having that V in front of it is going to be enough to cause that to not work. So I'm not sure how useful that feature really is. It'll work in theory, I think, if we do. Let's go back here. I wonder if it's even case sensitive too. Let's see. Okay, it's not case sensitive. So that was a call ending in 1234. Let's call again. I'll end it with something else.
Calls to this number are.
Why did it not have the same? It should have had the same CNAM entry, I would think.
Calls to this number are being screened by Smart Call Block. The number.
Let me turn this off for a minute. This unit will give different CNAMs for different prefixes. Okay. That's giving us the same CNAM. So all three of these entries had the same CNAM. Okay, so in theory, this one, and this one should all pass through if this is in this star name thing. It's already in there. So I'm going to turn this back on. This is 3331234. Now let that through. This is 7771234. No. Now let that through. Okay, so now let's just try something at random here with a different CNAM. And it did let it through because it's the same CNAM. Okay, so now different
Calls
CNAM.
to this
Stop
number.
it. Okay, so that does work, but the CNAM has to be exact, and maybe that's fine if you already know the CNAM of the place that's calling, but if you don't know it to the T, you know, meaning like exactly the format that it comes in, it's not going to work. So that's an interesting feature. I'm just not sure the usefulness of it, being it has to be exactly precise. You know, if you could set it up so that it would pick out a keyword, like for instance here, if you could type in Rosie and then it would allow everything Rosie Porter, Rosie Porter, Rosie PORT, and then it cuts off because it's too long, something like that, I think that would be a lot more useful. But it does work, it does what it says it does. I just think it's a bit too limited to be useful. Because most cases, when you have a reputable place making robocalls, it'll use the same number every time. Okay, so we did the screening. That works. Oh, you can use your own to replace this number. Okay, that's kind of cool. Let's see if we can do that. Play your current name, your current announcement with, okay, screening announcement. This has quite a lot of options to it.
Record after the tone. Press 5 when you are done.
Bob! It's a farm in here.
Recorded.
Okay. Now we gotta change this Okay. Oh.
Hello. Calls to Bob. It's are being screened by Smart Call Blocker. Please say your name after the tone.
Okay, that works. That's pretty cool. Adds a little bit of a personalization to it. Makes it a little more friendly and personable. I better delete that just in case this feature ever gets turned on accidentally somehow. Reset that trash. Reset. Okay. I think this battery is not very good. The screen is getting a little bit, a little flaky. I've also noticed, and I think that that might have just happened right here, these microphones cause a lot of interference with cordless phones, and some of the range tests that I've done using these microphones need to be thrown out because the microphones reduce the range substantially, even on phones like this operating in different frequency. Okay, yeah, that's been reset. Okay. We did the voice guide. That was pretty good. Went nice and slow. It was clear. I'm just going to go ahead and turn that off at this point because I think we're done. I think we're done with demoing that. Off. This does not have any ketone anymore? What the flip? Okay, that's kind of weird. I don't think I turned that off. Alright, this is all more stuff about the call screening. Okay, so let's take a break from some of these features and let's demonstrate or test or evaluate, whatever you want to call it, the talking of the phones. How do they make calls? Okay, we'll switch over to the outside line and let's make a call to test the incoming audio quality. Yeah, this battery's definitely on the fritz. We're down to only one thing already.
Updated message for Monday, July 20th.
You know what? I think that this microphone just dropped out the connection.
Updated message for Monday, July 20th. And the days ahead, we first want to measure out berries in the winery. Our blueberry fields are traditionally closed during Monday.
Good volume range and very clear.
So many berries that we are going to be open on Monday. And so if you've been waiting to visit, now is the perfect time. Whether you're stocking up on blueberries for smoothies, homemade jam, baking, or simply enjoying them fresh, it's a great week to harvest. So we will be...
That's a very good speakerphone. That's very clear. It's very loud. And it's pretty lifelike audio for a telephone. Okay, so now this is the earpiece. we go to talk
Only
mode.
plans can be affected by future weather and ripening, so calling back to this crop report or visiting our website, jonesfamilyfarms.com, will provide the latest information for the harvest activities. So don't forget to bring water and a smile, taking it slow and being patient.
Yeah, that goes quite loud. It remains very clear, no distortion. Decent volume range. So the incoming audio is very good. Now I will record some testing messages so we can see how good the outgoing audio is. Hopefully this speakerphone does not fall apart during the outgoing tests.
3 old messages. Message 1.
Testing these telephones. Okay, I want to move over to the air conditioner now, just to see how this handles background noise. Not that the air conditioner is particularly loud, but it's enough that it might be able to be picked up. So now I'm standing next to the air conditioner now, which I'm very glad I installed in the studio with good timing. Today it is, it's 99% humidity outside, and it's keeping it a comfortable 52 here in the studio. So now I've moved away from the air conditioner, so there should not be any background noise anymore. Okay, so that was on the talk mode. Now I will switch to the speakerphone. Now it's on speakerphone, and I'm speaking at about the same volume and distance as I was before to give a comparison between the speakerphone pickup and the regular.
Message 2.
Okay, there's been interesting development here. I thought it was the microphones causing the call to drop out, but the call just dropped out again, and the microphone was not connected. And I happened to be looking at the base while it happened, and I saw the display kind of crap out, and then it started to come back on when the call dropped out. So I've just swapped the power cords because they appear to be identical. So I've swapped the power cords to see if maybe that power supply is failing. If this continues to drop out, then I guess it's busted, which would be a bummer because I kind of like it. Okay, now we'll try the speakerphone test. Okay, it's on speakerphones now. The base appears to be working for the moment. Hopefully it continues to work. So now I'm going to go back over to where the air conditioner is conditioning again. And this will give you an idea of how much background noise the speakerphone picks up. There's the air conditioner. There will be some wind noise there. Lots of wind noise. Well, so far this is working better, so we might have a busted power supply. It's a possibility. Sometimes power supplies break. That could be the reason this ended up at the sale in the first place. A busted up power supply. Alright, I'm going to put the phone down now onto the table. I have to keep an eye on the base to make sure it's still working. Okay, the phone's on the table now on a hard surface, so there should be no rude comments about the surface not being hard. I'm going to move back from the handset now, and since it's on a hard surface, the acoustics should be correct, and it should be operating as intended. So I'm speaking about 2 feet from the telephone now. This is about 3 feet away from the telephone, and this is about 4 feet away from the telephone. And this is about as far as I expect it to work well. If it works beyond here, that's great, but I think this is a pretty reasonable expectation for it to work here, but maybe not too much further. This is about 5 feet from the telephone, 6 feet from the telephone, 7 feet from the telephone, 8 feet from the telephone, 9 feet from the telephone, 10 feet from the telephone, 11 feet from the telephone, 12 feet away from the telephone, 13 feet from the telephone, 14 feet from the telephone, 15 feet from the telephone, 16 feet from the telephone, 17 feet from the telephone, 18 feet from the telephone, 19 feet from the telephone, and that's 20 feet from the telephone, which is as far as I can go. And it looks like it has not cut off, and it looks like the base hasn't crapped out, so that's good.
Message 3.
Hello, can you clear your calculator? Make it clear, there should be no any.
End of messages.
Well, I have to say I'm quite impressed with that speakerphone. That is very good pickup. The modulation wasn't as loud as it could be at the further distances, but it was there. And at the closer distances, it worked quite nicely. So I think that this other power supply here might be going bad. If you recall earlier during the video, the LED display there, the numbers was kind of getting all flickery and acting weird. And then when I was recording those messages, the display went haywire and the whole base kind of reset. So I took the other power supply that was on the cradle and plugged it into the base, and now there have been no more problems, and the LED display there is not flickering anymore. So I'm wondering if this power supply is going bad, this power adapter. Since they're the same spec, I just switched them over and now it seems to be better. So hopefully that's just a bad supply and it'll work fine to the rest of the video. So now let's go outside and test the range, and I'm going to turn the microphones off for this segment of the video so it doesn't interfere. So there's going to be a reduction, temporary reduction in audio quality as I do that, but at least the range test will be accurate. Trash audio. Here we go. Trash audio because of the camera configuration, not trash audio on the phone. The phone audio is fine.
Greetings from Jones Family Farms and Winery with our updated message for Monday, July 20th. And the days ahead. We first want to mention about berries and then the winery. Our blueberry fields are traditionally closed during Mondays and Tuesdays. However, we have so many ripe berries that we are going to be open on Monday.
Wow.
So if you've been waiting to visit, now is the perfect time. We're stocking up on blueberries for smoothies, homemade jam, baking, or simply enjoying them fresh. It's a great week to harvest. So we will be open on Monday. Again, that's unusual, but we will be open from 8:30 until 12. We're going to be at our Valley Farm, and that's located at 555 Walnut Tree Hill Road, right here in Shelton, Connecticut. And always plans can be affected by future weather and ripening, so pulling back to this crop report or visiting our website, jonesfamilyfarms.com, will provide the latest information for the harvest activities. So don't forget to bring water and a smile. Taking it slow and being patient will make your visit even sweeter. Now, the winery's tasting room, separate from the berry field, is open daily. And so on Monday it will be open from 12 till 6. And again, the winery is located at our Homestead Farm, 606 Walnut Tree Hill Road. And they do have air conditioning as well as some special drink creations from the holiday period into July. So our websites, again, are the best resource to learn about our offerings. For the winery specific information, it's joneswineryct.com. That's for the winery. And then jonesfamilyfarms.com for the harvest crops. If you do need to reach us, email is best via farmer@jonesfamilyfarms.com. You can leave a clear message at 203-99-6237. But email is again with multiple farm addresses, different hours of operation, and special event offerings that sometimes requires a reservation. Our two websites are the resource to refer to: joneswineryct.com, jonesfamilyfarms.com. For Monday and Tuesday in the week, going to the winery is open daily 12 to 6. For Monday, traditionally the fields are closed for blueberries. We are going to be open 8:30 to 12 over at our Valley Farm. Tuesday we will be closed, and then Wednesday we'll let you know the message as to what we're going to be and what the hours will be for Wednesday and beyond. But Monday, as a special treat, come on out, get those blueberries, 8:30 until 12 at our Valley Farm, 555 Walnut Tree Hill Road. Make it a delicious day, folks. So long.
Well, super long range indeed. I went about 1.5 houses down before it started to really cut out. and that's quite a bit further than we can usually go. So I don't think that this is a gimmick. I think it does actually have significantly better than average range, and now I'm very curious to put this upstairs and actually go as far as I can and see just how far it goes, but definitely above average range. Since I just use it in the dark, let's talk about the backlighting. Numbers are good. You can see them clearly. They're pleasant on the eye. Very even backlit, but the display is blinding. And I've said this about a lot of Panasonic phones as well. Why this bright white backlight on the display? This is great during broad daylight, like right now. It makes good contrast for the display. But if you're outside and it's dark out, this is blinding. If you go to make a call in the middle of the night, especially after you just woke up, this is absolutely blinding and pretty much useless. You can't look at this in the middle of the night if you just wake up to a call. So I don't like the blaring bright white backlighting, because when you need the backlighting the most, it's blinding. So very good range. I'm impressed with that. So I think pretty much all that's left to do is test out this answering machine. The answering system. Difference between the built-in answering system and voicemail service. Your telephone has separate indicators for two different types of voice messages: those recorded on its built-in digital answering system and those recorded in your telephone system provider's voicemail. Fees may apply. Your telephone's built-in digital Digitan answering system messages and voicemail messages are separate. I'm glad it describes that, because that's a concept that a lot of people have a hard time with. It's just confusing. It's not confusing to me, but it's confusing to some people. Okay, so this goes through some differences, and again, it's good that it puts that there, because to some people that is confusing. Okay, use your built-in answering system. Messages, that's great. Turn on or off. Oh, another thing. The display, the information on this display, very good. You got your date and time on the bottom, and when this is on, your date and time are still there, and you have a counter for the duration of the call. So not only can you keep track of how long you've been on the phone, you can also keep track of what time it is, which I think is a super valuable feature. I really like that Vtech has the display set up like that. It's like that on a lot of Vtech and AT&T models now, which is great. Okay, anyways, turn on or off the answering system. If you turn the answering system on, it answers calls and records messages only on the home line. If your paired cell phone has voicemail, callers can leave messages with that voicemail service. If your answering system is turned off and you change any of its settings, the answering system automatically turns on again. Turn the answering system on or off with a handset, or we can use the base, which is probably a little bit simpler. Despite these having pretty good grip, the buttons require a firm enough press that it does still tend to want to move across the table, unless...
Calls will not be answered.
That's not accurate. That's just because the wire was preventing it from sitting flat. If the feet are clean and the wires are routed correctly,
calls will be answered.
You can push the buttons and it will not move around.
Base ringer is off.
Okay volume, but not particularly loud either. Okay, so the answering machine is now on, and in order to customize the settings, we'll have to go into the handset. You can play messages back on the handset or the base. Okay, deleting the message, we'll go through all that. Okay, so there's the settings, the announcement.
To play, press 2. To record, press 7. Announcement deleted. Hello. Please leave a message after the tone.
Okay, we use the default one for the moment.
Record after the tone. Press 5 when you are done.
Record before the tone. Press 0 when somebody rudely tells you what to do.
Recorded.
Great.
This voice guide will assist you with the basic setup of the answering system. First of all, you will set the outgoing announcement. The preset announcement is, "Hello, please leave a message after the tone." If you want to record your own announcement, press 7. To skip to the next item, press 9. Next, you will set the answering system to answer an incoming call after 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 rings or toll saver. Please enter 2, 3, 4. The current number of rings is 2 rings. You will then set the message alert tone. When there is at least one new message, the telephone base beeps every 10 seconds. If you want to turn on the message alert tone, please press 1. To turn off the tone, press 0. The message alert tone is turned off. This basic setup is complete. The answering system is ready to answer calls for you.
I like the voice guides on this phone. The only thing I wish that did was explain toll saver, because not everybody knows what that is, especially not anymore. Okay, so that should be all set up. Let's go ahead and call. There's a new message on there already because it was the memo that we recorded. I don't know if this has call screening. I didn't see an option for that in there. I don't want that on because it's going to yield a feedback freak show. I don't see a setting. Oh, here we go. Answering system setup. There we go. Call screening off. 19 is the default. That's fine for now. Okay. Let's call this up.
Hello. Please leave a message after the tone.
Goodbye. Don't tell me what to do.
You have 2 new messages. Tuesday, 1:49 a.m.
Record before the tone. Press 0 when somebody rudely tells you what to do.
Tuesday, 1:52 a.m.
Goodbye. Don't tell me what to do.
End of messages. To delete all old messages, press delete again. All old messages deleted.
The number got a little flaky for a second there. I wonder if both of these power supplies are not great. I don't think it's the phone because it's working a lot better than it was before. So I feel like if it was the phone, then both of the supplies should be not impacting the operation. It should stay the same. Okay, so let's record an announcement here.
To play, press 2. To record.
I'm going to turn speakerphone off so it's clearer. Hello, you've reached Frank's Hardware Store. Record your stupid question after the tone and we'll call you back. If it sounds like a farm, call you back.
Frank's
Record your stupid question after the tone. Hello, you've reached Frank's Hardware Store. Record your stupid question after the tone, and we'll call you back. If it sounds like a farm, call you back.
Hello, Frank. It's Bill. I was calling to see if you have any air conditioner filters in stock because my current air conditioner filter got sprayed by a skunk and now it stinks. Ugh.
You have one new message. Tuesday, 1:54 a.m.
Hello, Frank. It's Bill. I was calling to see if you have any air conditioner filters in stock because my current air conditioner filter got sprayed by a skunk and now it stinks. Ugh.
End of messages.
The requality is a touch above average, both on the outgoing message and the incoming. It still sounds like compressed digital audio, but it's not as bad as usual. And I'll play it back from the handset.
You have one old message. Tuesday, 1:54 a.m.
Hello, Frank. It's Bill. Any air conditioner filters in stock because my conditioner filter got sprayed by a skunk and now it stinks. Ugh.
End of messages.
Yeah, I do think that that is a fair bit better than average quality. Okay, the answering system remote the access. You can reach your answering system remotely by dialing your home telephone number from any touch-tone telephone. Dial your telephone number from any touch-tone telephone. Once the system plays your announcement, enter the 2-digit remote access code. 19 is the default code. The system automatically announces the number of new or old messages, if any, and then begins to play them. You can also enter the following remote commands. Looks like we can do everything regarding playback, but not setup. So we can't record a new greeting. Oh no, that's not accurate. We can record a new greeting. Can we turn it on and off? Yes, we can. Okay, so scratch that. I just didn't read the whole thing. We can do pretty much all of the customization except for changing the number of rings and maybe changing the security code. Okay, let's call it.
Hello, you've reached Frank's Hardware.
You have one old message. Tuesday, 1:54 a.m.
Hello, Frank. It's Bill. I was calling to see if you have any air conditioner filters in stock because my current air conditioner filter got sprayed by a skunk and now it stinks. Ugh.
End of messages. All old messages deleted.
So as usual, it does seem like the recording quality is a
To
touch
play
better.
all messages, press 1. To play new messages, press 2. To repeat the previous message, press 4. To skip the message, press 6. To delete the message, press 3. To stop, press 5. To record announcement, press star 7. To delete all old messages, press 3 2 times. To turn answering calls on or off, press O. To end call, press 8. To repeat help, press star 5.
Oh.
Calls will not be answered. Calls will be answered.
I'm going to press 8 to hang up the call. Actually, I want to record a new
To
announcement.
play all messages, press 1. Record after the tone. Press 5 when you are done.
Recording a new announcement from the corded telephone that's remote and touch tone, because the recording and playback quality on a lot of Digitan answering machines seems to pretty consistently be better when accessing it remotely as opposed to when playing it back locally. Bah!
Recording a new announcement from the corded telephone that's remote and touch tone, because the recording and playback quality on a lot of Digitan answering machines seems to pretty consistently be better when we're accessing it remotely as opposed to when playing it back locally.
Eight's supposed to hang up the call. It did hang up the call. So, as usual, I don't know why this is, but the recording quality is definitely better, or the requality is better, when it's being accessed remotely. Okay, and this is just some more discussion about the etching machine. We looked at all these features. I don't have voicemail on this line, so we can't do that. And here's some settings. If you accidentally change the LCD language to French or Spanish, you can reset it back to English without going through the French or Spanish menus. Press menu in idle mode, then enter *364#. There is a confirmation tone. That's kind of neat. Está en español. Oprima. And there we go, it's back to English. Very interesting. This is exclusive for the Canada version. This is not the Canadian version. So we'll have to skip that. Dial modes, to pulse tone, area codes, the ringers. Let's take a listen to the ringers on here. That's a good volume range, goes pretty quiet to moderately loud. Classic. think we'll go with that one. And there should be a separate one for cellular. Holy cow! Why is that so loud? Good grief. Oh, I guess they're different ringers. Well, they sound the same, I guess. No, it's the same. It just seems to be a lot louder. That's outrageous. Why can't we get that kind of volume with the home? So that's a shame. It's wasting a lot of volume on the home. It doesn't go as loud as it could. Oh well, that's kind of weird. Maybe that's some kind of a programming glitch. Very strange. Does it mention that the does it mention that the cellular ringer is louder? Explains toll saver there. Quiet mode. When quiet mode is... Oh, we didn't do the bass ringers.
Bass ringer is off.
That could go louder too. It's kind of quiet for a bass. I like a lot of the tones though. This has a good selection of ringer tones. When quiet mode is turned on, the telephone silences all sounds during the set period of time, 1 to 12 hours. However, the handset locator paging tone and any sound generating options initiated by users, such as making calls using speakerphone or setting ringer volume, will sound as normal. Well, that's good. I'm glad making calls does not get silenced by quiet mode. After you turn on quiet mode, this feature activates immediately and the answering system turns on automatically. When quiet mode is on, the answering system takes calls and records messages without broadcasting them. Turn quiet mode on. Press and hold quiet pound in idle mode to enter the quiet mode settings screen. The screen shows quiet hours. Using the dialing keys to enter the desired number of hours you would like to turn on quiet mode, then press menu select. Your screen shows quiet mode on. To turn quiet mode off while quiet mode is on, press and hold quiet pound. The screen shows quiet mode off briefly and then returns to idle. And we can press and hold off to clear the missed calls. They're cleared. So it's no longer having a key tone, but it should still have speakerphone. That's good. So now let's call it and see how it behaves.
Recording a new announcement from the corded telephone that's remote and punch tone.
Okay, so that seems to work properly. And that greeting did sound better quality, recorded remotely. Now we'll push this to shut it off. Quiet mode off. Our touch tone has returned. Okay, so that's working properly. Entering system settings. Only records 22 minutes. That's better than some, but still not very much. But I have to say the recording quality is definitely better than average, so I will give it a break on the time. 22 minutes is reasonable enough. Got the message alert. We looked at that before. That setting, the voicemail, we can't show that. Okay, here we go. Add and register handsets. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to deregister this other handset that's busted, because especially now we don't have a good power cord for it. So how do we deregister? It's probably the same. Is it not going to tell us how to do it? Okay, well, I will do what I think the way it works is I believe that you push and hold find handset till it beeps. And then you push it again. Or actually what happened was the in-use light flashed. And now I think that that should cancel out the registration. Yep, that canceled out the registration. Okay, so to register the handset, just put it on the base. That's what it's saying in the manual, but I don't think that that's correct. Well, lo and behold, it worked. Just took a long time like everything else on this phone system. Okay, so that's good. Now we just have the one handset registered, and I'll set aside the other one to repair that some other time. Okay, so it was talking about the range here, which I'm very curious about. Okay, so it is a typical DECT 6 frequency of 1900 megahertz. It transmits and receives in the same frequency. And it doesn't tell us what the power actually is, but it allegedly operates at the highest allowed power, so we can look up that. It's a very small amount, it's a couple milliwatts, I think. So it says the Vtech DECT 6 products offer unsurpassed range, performance, and sound clarity. This is achieved through a unique antenna design and advances in noise filtering technology. An independent laboratory has confirmed that Vtech DECT 6 products perform up to 45% better in range competitions against similarly equipped phones of the leading competition. Now, calls can be taken in the basement, backyard, and garage with exceptional sound quality. Telephone operating range. This cordless telephone operates within the maximum power allowed by the Federal Communications Commission, FCC. Even so, this handset and telephone base can communicate over a certain distance, which can vary with the locations of the telephone base and handset, the weather, and the construction of your home or office. Redefining long-range coverage and clarity. This telephone base comes with an antenna, which gives much better clarity and covers a longer range than before. That's good to know. Simulated full duplex handset and base speakerphones. This does not have a base speakerphone, but it does have a simulated full duplex handset speakerphone. The simulated full duplex speakerphone on your handset and telephone base allow both ends of a call to speak and be heard at the same time, which is not how a conversation is supposed to go. Optimal performance is subject to external factors and individual usage. Just out of curiosity, one more thing to check. Let's see how well that actually works. So if this is only partially duplex, it's going to cut off whenever I'm speaking. But since it is a simulated fully duplex speakerphone, it is not cutting off while I'm speaking. So this claim is correct. It is in fact simulated fully duplex. But again, that's not how a conversation is supposed to go. There should be one person speaking at a time, not two. You should be using your listening ears when the other person is speaking. Okay, so we have reached the end of our lengthy just over 100-page manual. And it seems like the phone is copacetic now with this other power supply. So if we want to use this handset, we'll have to replace the speaker and potentially replace the power supply. Or maybe that power supply would be good enough just to operate the charger. I don't know. Probably needs to be recapped or something. So that's that. This is working pretty well. I'm very curious to test the range. It's definitely longer than average. The sound quality is very good. The volume is very good. The pickup is very good. Very easy to use, and I really like the way the call blocking system is laid out. I like the voice guide. It's not the call blocking is not a feature I would personally use, but if you like that type of thing, this is set up pretty good. The logic is good. The functionality is good. It's got a decent array of features and customization. And the reason why I was attracted to it initially is I like the heavy, large handset. It's got a pretty good feel to it. It's not creaky. It's pretty solid. So I'll clean this up and use it and see how it works. I think it's going to work quite well, especially outside with the extended range, or the, what is it called? The super long range. Extended range was Uniden.